स्थापकाय ॐ स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। I offer my Sashtang Dandvat pranams at the holy feet of Lord Krishna and Holy Trio. I offer my respectful pranams to revered Ishtaprana Mataji and Om Namo Narayana to one and all. Now, this is our third satsanga of Srimad Bhagavatam. In last satsanga, we had seen that how Dundukari became Vishnu Duda and how he became free from the cycle of birth and death. This is the glory of Srimad Bhagavatam. Now let us enter into the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, where Lord Krishna's Leelas are depicted. How God was born, what work he did, and how he established the Dharma. Actually, in the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam, that is called in first canto, 6 questions were asked. What are that 6 questions? Let us see it in brief. First question is, how a human being can fulfill the purpose of his life. Second question, why God took incarnation. Third question, what work God does. Fourth question, there are so many scriptures. What is the essence of all scriptures? Fifth question, how many incarnations are there of God? And last question, when Lord Krishna gave up his earthly form and went to Vaikuntha or went to Swadhama Gamana, what happened to Dharma? These are 6 questions asked in the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam. And these 6 questions are very much related with our life. First question is, how a human being can fulfill the purpose of his life? The answer is by continuously repeating the name of God. By continuously listening Hari Katha, he can fulfill the purpose of his human birth. Sri Ramakrishna also said, what is the purpose of having human life? The purpose of having human life is to love God and to realize our own self, to realize our true nature. And we can fulfill this purpose by continuously repeating name of God. Swami Vivekananda puts the same thing into very scientific language. Swami Vivekananda says, each soul is potentially divine. The goal is to manifest this divinity within. We are all divine. Let us manifest this divinity from within. That is the purpose of our human life. How we can achieve it? By controlling nature, external and internal. Do this either by work or worship or philosophy or psychic control. By one or more or all of this, and be free. This is the gist of all religions. So the purpose of having human life is to know our true nature, to love God. And how we can do it? By continuously repeating God's holy name, or by continuously hearing divine play of Lord, that is known as Hari Katha or Srimad Bhagavat Katha. Second is, there are so many scriptures. What is the essence of all scriptures? Yeah, the essence of all scriptures is to have devotion at the holy feet of Lord, to know our true nature. Same answer in both the questions. Answer is same. The essence of all scriptures is to get devotion at the holy feet of Lord. What kind of devotion? Devotion means, we have seen that when Gangaji, when Mother Ganga merges into the ocean, how it merges? It merges in a continuous flow of Ganga, Mother Ganga goes into the ocean. Similarly, there should be continuous flow of Lord's devotion in our heart. That is called a bhakti. That is called a devotion. And when we achieve this, then that is called essence of all scriptures. Third question, why God takes incarnation? God himself says, Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkrudam dharma sansthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Paritranaya sadhunam. God says, I want to protect holy people. I want to give them the bliss of my divine play. That is the first reason. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkrutam. I want to kill the evil people. I want to kill the people who are having demonical nature. That is the second reason. Third is dharma sansthapanarthaya. I want to establish dharma. Sambhavami yuge yuge. How many incarnations are there of God? According to Bhagavata, there are 24 incarnations. But Bhagavata says, in Bhagavata also it is written, Bhagavata says, avataraha asankhyaha. There are innumerable incarnations of God. According to the Vedanta also, there are innumerable avataras, innumerable incarnations are there of God. The creation of the world itself is an incarnation of God. Whomsoever we are seeing, whether human beings, animals, birds, insects, living being or non-living beings, they are all nothing but incarnations of God. Then what work God does? God does three works. He creates the universe, he sustains the universe, and he destroys the universe. And last question, when Lord give up this form of earthly form, where dharma was, means after the once the God give up his incarnation form, then where dharma stays? Actually, dharma stays in our heart. That means religion is in our heart. But in our heart, we have raga and dvesha. That means either we love somebody or we feel jealous of somebody. And due to this raga dvesha, we cannot perform dharma. So dharma, where does it stay? It stays in our heart, but it is not in awakened form. So let us remember these 6 questions. Now, corresponding to these questions and answers, we will start to see wonderful divine play of Lord Sri Hari, Lord Krishna of 10th canto, Dasamaskanda. In 10th canto, the first, what happens? Sukadeva is telling this wonderful divine play of God to King Parikshit. 4 days are over. Now, Shukadev ji wants to examine the devotion of King Parikshita. That is why Shukadeva says, O King Parikshita, since 4 days you have not taken any water, you have not taken any food. First, drink some water, take some food, then we shall continue our satsanga. Parikshita, with folded hands, he said, O Lord Sukadeva, you know very well, because of this thirst, I performed bad action, and as a result, I got cursed from Rishi Putra, that means son of great Rishi. And what curse I got? That on 7th day, I will be beaten by Takshak serpent and I will have a death. I will die. From that time onwards, O Lord Sukadeva, I have given up my thirst and food. Hankering for this thirst and hankering for food, I have given up. You please continue this divine play of Sri Hari. I have forgotten everything. My mind is totally merged now in this divine play of Lord Sri Hari, divine play of Sri Krishna. I am very much eager to listen divine play of my Lord Krishna, who saved me when I was in my mother's womb. In Bhagavatam it is written, when Parikshita was in mother's womb, Aswathama, son of Dronacharya, he released Brahmastra towards Uttara. Uttara was the mother of King Parikshita. And to take revenge from Pandavas, he released Brahmastra towards Uttara. He wanted to kill Parikshita, who was inside the womb of Uttara. So he released Brahmastra. But immediately, Uttara took shelter at the feet of Lord Krishna and said, please save this child who is inside my womb, because if he will die, then there will not be anybody who will sing the divine glory of yours. Please save him. Please save him. He is your devotee. Krishna said, doesn't matter. Immediately I'm going to save him. Krishna took a very small form, entered inside the womb of Uttara with Shankha, Chakra, Gada and Padma. He saved Parikshita. And that's why Parikshita is telling, I want to listen the divine play of Lord Krishna, who saved me when I was in my mother's womb. Please tell me immediately. Now, Parikshita is telling to Shukadeva, O Lord Shukadeva, just now you have narrated in detail the dynasty of moon as well as the dynasty of sun. So Somavansa as well as Suryavansa. I want to hear the divine play of Lord Krishna. Please tell me in detail. Parikshita doesn't want to listen in brief. He wants to listen it in elaborate way. And when Parikshit asked this question, Shukadev ji was very pleased. And it is said, when we ask question about divine play of Lord to anybody, what happens? The person who asks the question, he also becomes pure by asking question on God. The one who answers it, he also becomes pure. Not only that, those who are listening that answer, they will also become pure. So all the three people, questioner, as well as the one who gives answer, and those who are listening, they all will become pure. This is the glory of remembering God's divine play. Now Shukadeva is telling to King Parikshita, "Oh Parikshita, please listen it carefully now. Once Mother Earth was oppressed by devil actions of asuras. They were performing very bad actions on Mother Earth. So Mother Earth became very sad. She took the form of cow and went to Brahmaji and narrated her problems. She said, enough of enough. Please pray to God that God should come on earth. He should take incarnation and he should make me free from these asuras. I cannot bear any more pain. Brahmaji said, oh Mother Earth, don't worry. We all devatas will come with you and we will go to Lord Narayana, Lord Vishnu, and we will pray him. So all devatas along with Brahmaji and Mother Earth, they came to Kshirasagar and they prayed Lord Vishnu. How they prayed? They prayed with this mantra. Sahasrasirasha Burushaha Sahasraksha Sahasrapat Sabumim Visvado Vrutva Atyatishtat Dasangulam Purusha Evedagang Sarvam Yadbhudan Yachabhavyam Udamrutatvasyeeshanaha. And when they were praying, God gave answer to Brahmaji. God said to Brahmaji, O Brahma, I am fully aware about Mother Earth's trouble and problems. Please tell everyone that I am going to take incarnation, and that incarnation will be known as Sri Krishna. I will take birth from the womb of Devaki. I will be born at Mathura, and immediately I will be taken to Gokula. There I will stay for 11 years. I will perform my various divine play at Gokula, and after 11 years, I will kill Kansa and will establish Dharma, will establish religion. So please tell Mother Earth not to worry and ask all devatas to take human births around the Mathura and Gokula, that means in whole Vraja Bhumi. So they will help me in performing my divine play. Brahmaji immediately revealed this secret to all devatas and all ascetics who were praying Lord. They said, Brahmaji said, God is already aware about the problems. So please get ready to welcome God and let us take birth as various human beings. Let us take birth as various gopis and various human beings and welcome God and help him in performing his divine play. Everybody did pranams to Lord and they started to take various human beings form around Vrajabhumi. Now here comes one wonderful thing. When all Mahatmas, that means all ascetics, all rishis, when they came to know that God is going to take incarnation in Vrajabhumi, so they came to Brahmaji and they said, we want to take birth as a Gopa and a Gopis. Brahmaji said, yeah, but houseful. Already so many rishis have already taken birth as Gopas and Gopis. Okay, then can we take birth as a cows? Brahmaji said, sorry, houseful. There also there is no place. Then rishis are asking, okay, give us birth as various plants and trees around the Vrajabhumi. Brahmaji said, no, I can't allow you to take birth like trees and plants, because there also everything is houseful, no vacancy. First come, first serve. So now what to do? These Mahatmas, they were very intelligent. They said, okay, Brahmaji, now you can't say there is no more vacancy. Allow us to be born as Vraja Raja, the dust of Vraja. We want to come, we want to take birth as a dust of Vraja Bhumi. And you can't say no, because Vraja Raja are innumerable. You can't count the dust particles. So we want to become dust particles of Vraja Bhumi. That is what our desire is. Brahmaji immediately did pranams to all great rishis and said, you are really blessed. And this is how various rishis, they became Vraja Raja. Now, what happens? Here, around in Vraja, there was Nanda Baba and Yashoda. They were very pious. They were following dharma. And there was a town, Mathura, and that Mathura was ruled by King Ugrasena. He was very, very good king of Mathura. But he had very bad son. His name was Kansa. He was of demonical type of nature. He put his own father into the jail and he became the king of Mathura. Now, he had a cousin, Devaki. So, Devaki got married with Vasudeva. When the marriage took place between Devaki and Vasudeva, this Kansa became so happy that he himself was driving chariot of Vasudeva and Devaki. When he was driving the chariot of Vasudeva Devaki, suddenly one ethereal voice came and said, "Oh, Kansa, the one whose chariot you are driving, you don't know that this Devaki's 8th child will kill you." Immediately, the moment Kansa heard that ethereal voice, he stopped the chariot. He became angry. He took out his sword and wanted to kill Devaki. Immediately, Vasudevji intervened and said, "Why are you killing Devaki? Devaki has not done any harm to you. Devaki is your sister. Just now she has got married. And if you will kill Devaki, what people will speak of you? You are a mighty arm. You are a very big king. History will never forget you. History will never forgive you for this action. Please don't kill Devaki." But Kansa was ready to kill her. Then Vasudeva said, "Okay, don't worry. You are having problem from Devaki's children. I am giving you promise. All 8 children of Devaki, I will offer it to you. I will offer to you. You do whatever you want to do with them. But please spare Devaki. Just now she has got married with me. She has not done any harm to you. I am giving you promise. All 8 children will be given to you. Whatever you want to do, you do with that children. But please save the Devaki." Vasudeva's character was so wonderful. Even the king, particular demonical king, Kansa, he had put trust on Vasudeva because of his wonderful character. He always used to follow truth only. And when person follows truth, his words carry weight. So Kansa immediately thought, yes, when Vasudeva is giving me promise, I can put trust on Vasudeva. Now let us understand what is the philosophical meaning of this Mathura, Kansa, Vasudeva, Devaki, and Ugrasena. See, what is meant by Mathura? Mathura is nothing but our own body. When we continuously repeat the name of Lord, when we continuously chant Ramanama, then this body becomes Mathura. Then only God will come and sit in our heart when we will make this body as Mathura. And how we can make this body as Mathura? by continuously repeating the Rama Nama. Who is Ugrasena? Ugrasena is a Jivatma. And who is Vasudeva Devaki? Vasudeva is a Suddha Sattva Guna, pure Sattva Guna. And Devaki is pure intellect. When pure Sattva Guna and pure intellects comes together, then what happens? God incarnates. And who is the Kansa? Kansa is egoism. He represents ego. Generally, people outside, means those who are not of spiritual temperament, they speak about themselves. We have done this work, I have done this work, I went to that place, I am a good orator, or I am a good singer, or I am a good manager, or I am a good businessman, or I am a good, leader, whatnot. The people continuously speak about themselves. And they love their ego so much. They want to pamper their ego so much that whosoever comes as an obstacle in their path, they immediately remove that person. So this is what the Kansa had character. Whosoever comes in his own way, whosoever is in the way of his desires, he used to remove that person. He used to kill that person. So Kansa was like that. So when he heard that Devaki's 8th child, he will kill Kansa. So Kansa immediately wanted to kill Devaki. Now, Vasudeva Devaki, over the period of time, they gave birth to first child. Immediately, as per promised, Vasudeva brought that child to Kansa. By seeing that small infant, Kansa said, what this child will do to me? This small infant cannot do any harm to me. You please take the child back with you. And my enemies of your 8th child, not the first child, you please take this child back with you. Now, Kansa is making friendship with Vasudeva. Now, Devatas are seeing this. So they got fear. If this Kansa will make friendship with Vasudeva, then God will not incarnate quickly. God will incarnate quickly when his devotees are being tortured. When his devotees are being tortured by devil people. Immediately, they sent Narada to Kansa. And Narada said, Kansa, you are really very innocent. What Naradji did? He put 8 flowers in one row and said, now Kansa, you count. So Kansa started to count from left-hand side. From left-hand side, first, second, third, up to 8th. Now Naradji is telling Kansa, you are counting from left-hand side. That's why left flower has become first flower. But if you count from right-hand side, what will happen? 8th flower become first flower. You don't know these devatas. They may count first child as a 8th child, and they may count 8th child as a first child also. Kansa said, what do you mean to say? Should I kill all the children of Devaki? Narada said, see, I have not come to tell you all these things. I am not telling you to kill all the children. I have come to caution you. Please beware. You don't know the inner meaning of these Devata's words. And Naradji immediately went off. Now Kansa got fear because of Naradji's Upadesha. So he called Vasudeva Devaki and he took the first child of Vasudeva and simply smashed it to the stone, and that child was killed. The small infant. Likewise, Kansa killed all 6 children of Devakis. Now, what is the philosophical meaning of this thing, of this incident? Before that, let us see that after killing first infant of Vasudeva Devaki, Kansa put Vasudeva Devaki into prison. He chained them and put inside the prison. Now let us see the philosophical meaning of this. We are all Vasudeva and Devaki in a way. We are all in the prison of ignorance. And we are all chained by Maya. Maya means delusion. We are all chained by Raga and Dvesha. Raga means to love somebody, and Dvesha means to feel jealous about somebody. Either we love somebody or we feel jealous about somebody. So we are chained by this Raga and Dvesha. We are imprisoned in ignorance. Now Vasudeva Devaki, they are continuously repeating God's name in prison. So when we know that we are in ignorance, let us pray continuously to Lord Sri Hari. Vasudevaji is telling to Devaki, Devaki, please don't worry. Whatever condition has come to us, that is sent by God himself. Accept adverse condition and let us repeat the name of God. Because God is going to take birth of as your child. So he will take all exams. He will take all possible tough exams from you. Please get ready for it. Now, Kansa has killed 6 infants of Devaki. What are that? Shadaripus they are. What are Shadaripus? Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada and Matsarya. Kama means lust. Krodha means anger. Lobha means greed. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha. Moha means delusion. Mada. Mada means arrogance. Matsarya. Matsarya means jealousy. So before God comes, what is to be done? We have to make our heart pure. Our heart is full of these Shadaripus with lust, anger, greed, delusion, arrogance, and jealousy. So when we start to hear continuously this Hari Katha, Srimad Bhagavat Katha, what Bhagavat Katha does? The Bhagavat Katha cleanses our heart. And Bhagavat Katha removes this Shadaripus from our heart. That is what God himself says. Pravishtaha Karanarandrena Swanam Bhava Saroruham Dunoti Samalam Krishna Salilasya Yatha Sharat. When Sharad Ritu comes, that means after rainy season, the season in which we perform Durga Puja. So when Sharad Ritu comes, what happens? The water of all rivers will become pure. Water of all tanks will become pure. So once the Bhagavat enters into our ears, and when it goes inside our heart, it cleanses our heart, where all these Sadaripus are staying. And then what happens? We get devotion. And this Bhakti Devi, what she does? She prepares nice seat for Lord Sri Hari. So now God is about to come. So as a seventh pregnancy, Sheshavatar entered inside the womb of Devaki. Sheshavatar. Now God called his Yogamaya. Yogamaya was called by God, and God told to Yogamaya, see Yogamaya, now seventh pregnancy, as a seventh pregnancy, Sheshavatar has come to the womb of Devaki. Now you transfer this fetus to Rohini. Rohini was another wife of Vasudeva, and Vasudeva ji kept her at the house of Nanda and Yashoda. So please transfer this seventh fetus from Devaki's womb to Rohini's womb. And that is why he was known as Sankarshana. Okay, Yogamaya said, I will do that. And God said, oh Yogamaya, you take birth from Yashoda's womb, because I am going to take birth as the eighth child of Devaki. So I will be immediately brought from Mathura to Gokula, and you will be brought in place of me at Mathura. And Kansa will try to kill you. That time you simply fly away and just show your divine form to her, to Kansa and Devaki and Vasudeva. She said, okay, I will obey your order. Now, since Yogamaya has obeyed the order of Lord Vishnu, so Lord Vishnu says, okay, henceforth you will be worshipped in this Prithvi as a Mother Durga, Kali, Ambika, by various names, and people will worship you. So as per plan, seventh fetus was transferred from Devaki's womb to Rohini's womb, and Yogamaya was ready to take birth from the womb of Yashoda. Now, seventh fetus is transferred. Now God is about to come. Now, wonderful time has come. According to our Indian almanac, it was Bhadra Masa, Krishna Paksha, Ashtami Tithi. On Wednesday, God took birth. Bhadra Masa. Now let us see the philosophical significance of Bhadra Masa. What is meant by Bhadra Masa? The one who gives purity to us, the one who makes us pure is known as Bhadra Masa. God says, why I have taken birth in Bhadra Masa? Because I want to make everyone as pure. That is why God has taken birth in Bhadra Masa. Krishna Paksha. Krishna means black. Krishna means dark. God says, whosoever heart is full of darkness, don't worry, come to me. I will make you pure and I will give you jnana. I will give you knowledge. I will give you light, light of knowledge. That's why I have come in Krishna Paksha, God says. If you are in ignorance, if your life is full of darkness, don't worry. Don't worry, just come to me, repeat my holy name, continuously repeat the Bhagavatam, continuously hear the Bhagavatam. I will remove the darkness from your life. Now, Ashtami Tithi. Ashtami Tithi means 8th day. According to Indian almanac, 1 month consists of 30 days. Particularly 15 days are of Shukla Paksha and 15 days are of Krishna Paksha. So 8th day is in a middle day. God says, I have come into the middle day. So, and that is also night 12 o'clock. Why God has selected this night 12 o'clock? It is said, according to our scriptures, man loses control twice a day. And what is that time? Afternoon 12 o'clock and night midnight 12 o'clock. In afternoon 12 o'clock, he loses control because of appetite. He is very hungry. And when person becomes very hungry, he doesn't have any control on his own mind. And night 12 o'clock, he loses control due to lust. So during both this time, if we repeat the name of God, and if we continuously hear the divine play of Lord Sri Hari, then what will happen? We will not lose control on our mind. That is why Lord Rama was born at day 12 o'clock, in a day 12 noon, and Lord Krishna was born in midnight 12 o'clock. So God took birth at midnight 12 o'clock and on Wednesday. That is why Wednesday is being considered the holiest day among all 7 days. Now God is about to come. He was about to incarnate. So all devatas, they assembled in prison and they started to pray to Lord Sri Hari. And how they are praying? Satyavratam Satyapriyam Trisatyam Satyasya Yonir Nihitam Cha Satye Satyasya Satyamruta Satyanetram Satyatmakam Dvam Sharanam Prapannaha. See the wonderful prayer of devatas. What they are praying? They are telling, oh Lord, you are truth itself. You have come, you are going to take incarnation just to protect the truth. And you are truth. How? In all the 3 states. Means when there was no creation, you were alone exist. During creation also, you are the only one exist. And when the destruction will take place, then also you will only exist. In all the 3 states, you and you alone is there. You are truth itself. We are seeing many, but many is false. We are seeing many, but many is false. What is truth? That one is truth. And what is that one? The truth is you alone. That's why Swami Vivekananda says in Jnana Yoga, one is appearing as many. That same one truth. Truth is always one. Truth cannot be 2. Truth is always one. Satya is always one. So one is appearing as many. In what forms? In human beings, animals, birds, insects, in living beings, as well as non-living beings also. But many, what we are seeing, many is false. Behind all this, the one alone is exist, and that is you alone. And second sloka is wonderful sloka. Ekaya nauso dvifalas trimulas chaturasah panchavidah shadatma shaptvagashta vitapo navaksho dashachadi dvikhago yadi vrukshah. About the sansara. What is a sansara? It is depicted. Sansara is, this world is like a beginningless tree, which has its root into Prakriti. Prakriti means primordial matter. And this sansara tree has 2 fruits. What are that? First is pleasure and another is pain. 2 fruits are there, pleasure and pain. It has 3 roots. What are the 3 roots? Sattvaguna, Rajoguna and Tamoguna. It has 4 kinds of sap. What are that 4 sap? Dharma, Artha, Kama and Moksha. Religious merit, Dharma means religious merit. Artha means earthly possessions. Kama means sensuous pleasure. And Moksha means liberation. And it has a Panchavidaha, 5 media of perception, 5 organs of knowledge. What are that? Eyes, ears, skin, nose, and tongue. 6 states are there. Shadatma. What are that? First is birth. Second is existence. Third is growth. Fourth is ripeness. Fifth is decay. Sixth is destruction. We all pass through these six stages of life. You know, we have taken birth. Now we are existing. Slowly, child is born. We all rejoice, weep, claps. Yeah, we have got baby. We have got baby. Then that slowly, that baby grows. Existence. Then growth comes. Then ripeness. That baby become young man of 28, 30 years. And then slowly, our body starts to decay. When we become of 50, 60, slowly, after 40, our body starts to decay. And at last, destruction takes place. People say now that gentleman is no more. So all of us, we pass through these 6 stages of life. Then 7 dhatus, that means 7 layers of barks. What are that? First is chyle. Second is blood. Third is flesh. Fourth is fat. Fifth is bone. Sixth is marrow. And seventh is semen. First is chyle. Chyle means rasa. Second is blood, rudira. Third is flesh, mansa. Fourth is fat, meda. Fifth is bone, that means asthi. Sixth is marrow, means majja. And seventh is semen, means shukra. Then 8 bows are there. What are that? 5 bhutas and 3 other things. What are 5 bhutas? First is ether, then comes air, then comes fire, then comes water, and then comes earth. And another 3 are mind, intellect, and ego. These are all 8 bows. And 9 hollows are there in this tree. What are that 9 hollows? 2 sockets of eyes, 2 cavities of ears, then nostrils, total 6 are over. 2, 2, 2, 6. Then mouth. Then organs of urination and defecation. These are all 9 hollows are there. Dasa chhadi. 10 leaves are there. What are the 10 leaves? 10 pranas. Prana, apana, vyana, udana, samana, naga, kurma, then kukala, then devadatta, and dhananjaya. 10 pranas are there. Dasachadi. And 2 birds are there. What are that? Jivatma and Paramatma. Dvikhagaha. This is what the tree of Sansara is narrated wonderfully. And in next sloka, it's a wonderful stuti, Garbha stuti. What it says, Tvameka evasya satah prasutistvam sannidhanam tvamanugrahascha tvanmayaya samvrta chetastatvam pashyanti nanana vipaschito ye. Oh God, you are one. But because of this Maya, we are seeing many. One is appearing as many. Tvameka evasya satah prasutistvam sannidhanam tvamanugrahascha. You only have become these various human beings. You only have become these animals, birds, insects, everything. One is appearing as many. And many is false. Because of this Maya, because of delusion, we are seeing many. But it is not true. You alone is existing in this universe. You alone were there before the existence of this universe. You alone is existing when the creation is happened, and you alone will remain there when there will be destruction. And how to cross this ocean of sansara, ocean of world? Nicely it is depicted. Let us take the refuge at the holy feet of holy people. Let us take the refuge of holy people. They will cross us this ocean of sansara. How? Just take refuge, nothing else. And surrender yourself totally at the feet of your Guru, at the feet of holy people. And listen continuously Srimad Bhagavata Katha, Sri Hari Katha. And this Hari Katha will make you to cross this ocean of world. That means you will be free from cycle of birth and death. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani, jathare sayanam, yasansare, khaludustare, krupaya pare, pahi murare. After this wonderful prayer of Devatas, that is Garbha Stuti, now comes Vasudeva Devaki Stuti. How Vasudevaji is praying? Vasudevaji is telling, Viditosmi Bhavan Sakshat Purushaha Prakritehe Paraha Kevalanubhavananda Swarupaha Sarva Buddhidrik. Because now, when Lord is going to come inside the womb of Devaki, so Devaki is radiating light continuously. Purity is coming out. And whosoever is seeing Devaki, they become surprised. My godness, what a divine light she is radiating. Whosoever is seeing her, they are falling in love with God. They are getting enlightened even. Whosoever is seeing Devaki. And Kansa happened to say this. So Kansa said, yes, now sand person, this Vishnu is going to take birth from the womb of Devaki and he will kill me. Before he kills me, I am going to kill him. Now question comes, why Kansa did not kill Devaki that time? The reason is because God himself is inside the womb of Devaki. So that God's purity is giving that pure knowledge to Kansa. Oh Kansa, you cannot kill Devaki because she is now pregnant woman. And to kill pregnant woman is the greatest sin. And Kansa that got that intellect that I should not kill Devaki because she is pregnant. When the child will come out from her womb, then only I will kill. That knowledge, why he got? Because of Lord himself is inside the womb of Devaki. Now wonderful, whole prison has got light. Wonderful light in all the four directions. And Vasudeva is so much happy because God is going to take birth. And that time, Lord came immediately. Shandakaram Bhujagashayanam Padmanabham Suresham Visvadaram Gagana Satrisham Megabharinam Subhangam Lakshmi Kantam Gamalanayanam Yoga Vidyanagamyam Vande Vishnumbhavayaharam Sarvalokaikanadam. God revealed himself with his four hands. Sudarshan Chakra in one hand, Sudarshan is there, another hand Mace is there, another hand conch shell, and in another hand lotus is there. So Vasudevaji is telling, Viditosi Bhavan Sakshat Purusha Prakritehe Para. I know who are you. You are that one who is above the Prakriti, who is above the Sattva, Raja and Tama, who is above the Maya. The Maya acts according to the will of yours. You are that one. Viditosi Bhavan Sakshat Purusha Prakritehe Para Kevalanu Bhavananda Swarupa. What is your Swarupa? Ananda Swarupa. Kevalanu Bhavananda Swarupa. We can experience that joy. Your absolute truth, absolute knowledge, and absolute bliss, Satchidananda. That is why, in Mangalacharana we sang that Satchidananda Rupaya Visvutpatyadi Hetave Tapatraya Vinashaya Sri Krishnaya Vayam Numaha. So your Swarupa is Satchidananda. Kevalanu Bhavananda Swarupa, Sarva Buddhidrik. You are manifesting as pure intellect in everyone. Sarva Buddhidrik. And now Vasudeva is telling, Saheva Swaprakutyedam Swashtagre Trigunatmakam Tadanutvam Ya Pravishta Iva Bhavyase. Now when you incarnate, when you take incarnation, you take the help of Yoga Maya. And because you have taken the help of Yoga Maya, you come under the boundary of time, space, and causation. And you appear as a normal human being, ordinary human being. But you are not ordinary. You are extraordinary. You appear as if you have taken birth, but you are not of birth. You are ajanma, without birth. It appears that you are performing various actions, but you do not perform any action because you are devoid of Sattva, Raja, and Tama. You are akarta, but it appears as if you are doing various actions, but you are akarta. Ajanma, akarata. You are everywhere, all pervading. Since you are akarta, so you are abhokta also. You do not enjoy anything because you do not perform anything. And in this way, Vasudevji is wonderfully describing the divine form of God. And by that time, Devaki also got up. And Devaki happened to see the wonderful divine form of Lord Sri Hari with 4 hands. Devaki said, "Oh God, this is my request. If you will be born as this with 4 hands, people will not believe that you are my son." She is mother. So with mother heart, she is praying, "Oh God, please take birth from my womb as a 2 hands and 2 legs, as a human being. See, I did not get any pain of pregnancy also so far. How people will believe that you have been born from my womb? Please, come as a human being and take the form of human being. Please be born as a person who is having 2 hands and 2 legs and perform your divine play. Then people will sing your divine glory." And Devaki is out of joy. Tears roll down from her eyes. All Devatas, they gathered and they started singing. Sriman Narayana, 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 Sriman Narayana, 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 Sriman Narayana, 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 Sriman Narayana, Narayana, Narayana. Krishna Kanhaiya Lal Ki Jai. Now what happens? We shall try to see in next satsanga. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Sri Rama Krishna Arpanamastu.